So they're reviewing the footage, and they're looking and looking, starting at 1:45 when she said she was there. And finally, they see Dewana. But the next thing was, they never see Dewan go in with her. Hi, welcome to Crime in the Mitten. We are your hosts. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Alia.
Every week, you'll hear a new true crime story based in Michigan, from the mysterious missing cases to the gruesome murders that left the police struggling to stay on the scene. We're giving you the inside scoop on what's going on in our Mitten state. Tune in every Wednesday for your weekly dose of Michigan true crime.
Hi guys, we are back with another true crime case. It's obviously I'm starting the episode, so it is Shelby's turn. And this is a case that she has been waiting to do for a really long time now. Like, it's been on the list literally since the start of the show.
And then it got bumped up on the list once we had like an update on it too. So I've been really wanting to do this one for a minute. I actually switched this case with another case that I was going to do originally, just to do this one, because I was like, I've been throwing up a lot of murders and stuff, and I know like some people are missing, and so I was really excited to do this case. And then I feel like I deserved it after Michelle Blair.
Yeah.
You guys know I did not want to do that case, so I deserve to do a switcheroo. So it's cool. So there is always a case that shakes our whole little country, and there's always the cases where police, like even our best, most experience, they're thrown off, and like you got people that don't really care for true crime, they're looking into the case and stuff. So we get one like at least a good like per generation and stuff. Some multiple more than the others, but this one, like the Michelle Blair case, was kind of like ours because we were just in high school, kind of old enough to take an interest in like what was going on in the world and stuff. So that one kind of stuck to like a lot of people like around our age range. Now, if we go back like an age group, a name in particular would like send shock values through people. Like they instantly remember this, and they instantly know like, oh, you're talking about that case then. And so when I ask, like normally when we do cases, I ask my family and friends like, hey, you guys heard of this? And I'll give them like a little rundown, and normally they're like, no, like, how do you even find out about this stuff?
Where do you find that?
And I'm like, well, I mean, it's my job. But when I said the name Dewan Sims, like
everybody knows
instantly, like from my grandmother to my boyfriend, like they knew what I was talking about, and you can feel like all the emotions and the theories that they had like came back, like they were back in '94. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, this one, people get this one. I won't just sound like a crazy person who looks up random cases anymore. So with all that being said, back then they kind of painted their picture on how this case went. And with us being a new generation and a lot of things opening up, getting more information, I was like, it'll be good time to do this case because that means it'll be time for like some fresh eyes. Like we might see something, or we might notice something that
hasn't been noticed
before. So that's another reason why we even do these true crime podcasts, because you don't know, like we might find something that people didn't even know happened. And like some stuff I did find when I like shared to them, they were like, no, I never knew that went down. Like we just heard a little bit. So we're going to start this story on Saturday, December 10th, because I have to do a story. I have to do story time for the people. So it starts December 10th of 1994. Dewana is getting her hair done at Dewan Sims, 4-year-old Dewan Sims, that's his mother. So it's Dewan and Dewana, which is kind of cute. Like, matching names and stuff. So she plans on getting her hair done with her cousin, so they go get their hair done, and they take Dewan with them. And while he's there, he's watching cartoons. They stopped and got him some food, so he's content. He's doing his thing. Like, this is the equivalent of giving your kid a tablet and some chicken nuggets at this point. So after she get her hair done, she had plans to go on a date with her boyfriend Victor at the time, and because they were going to be out late, it was like kind of an overnight thing. Well, you you wouldn't want to pick a kid up from the babysitter at like maybe 12 or 1 o'clock or whatever. So he ended up staying over a family friend's house. And while he's at this family friend's house, he is going on and on and on about this trip to Wonderland Mall the next day. He was like, my mom is taking me, and I'm getting this toy, I'm getting that toy. Because you got to think it's December. It's Christmas time. Yeah, so every kid got that Toys R Us book out, circling stuff. Like, they've been ready since November. So he's going on and on about this trip to Wonderland Mall, and like they notice it because like he wouldn't stop about it. So he wakes up early the next morning, as any kid would, and he's excited. He's playing basketball. Like, it's a good day for him. Like, it's Sunday morning, everything's looking good. Dewana reminds me so much of me when like the kid wakes up super early. She kind of rolls out of bed around 11. And because I'm like, dude, I'm not that excited right now for this. Like, another day, another dollar. So, Dewana gets up out of bed around 11. And when she gets up, she gets like a couple of loads of laundry done because she planned on stopping at the laundromat after she picked up Dewan. So, she gets that together. She planned on leaving, like picking him up and then leaving him with the boyfriend. But the boyfriend was asleep at the time. So she was like, you probably don't want to be bothered. You're tired. We probably had a long night. Like, you don't know. Get your sleep and stuff. It's cool. I'll take him out your hair for you and stuff. So they get to the laundromat. She picks him up. They get to the laundromat. And it's a Sunday. So she says that Dewan is watching cartoons at the laundromat. Like the little TVs that they're playing. She says that he's watching cartoons. She does about 5 loads, and then they load the car up. They go to their grandma's house, his grandma's house, and her mother, and her name is Beverly Harris. They go to her house to pick up a vacuum, and something I still do to this day. Like, I always go to my grandma's house for random stuff. I asked her one day, like, you got juice over there? Like, so they go pick up a vacuum, but Beverly is already at work. So nobody's seen that they went there at that time, like to verify, like
it's no proof.
Yeah, but just her word. So the grandma's already at work already. Cool. She said that when she made the decision to go to the mall, it was a spur of the moment. But from like recollection of what the family friend was saying, it was like, no, he's been talking about this.
Been playing.
Like, somebody told this boy he was going to the toy store today. So, either way it go, whether they was planned, a spirit of the moment thing and stuff, they take the trip to Wonderland Mall. And it's from the grandma's house, it's about a 30-minute drive to Livonia. That's where the mall is located. So, they get there around 1:45. As they're looking for a parking spot, she says that, like, later on, she says that she ended up getting into it with a guy over a parking spot. She gets the parking spot and they go back in. Well, they go inside. Yep. They go inside. They go through the Target entrance. So I tried to look at blueprints and stuff for it, but I couldn't find anything. And it was just like recollections of people's memory of the store. So if this is Fairlane or something, or I could tell you guys exactly where it is, but we're going off of
I think recollection. At this point I can even tell you like
I can't either, really. Oh wow.
Because you said Target, like,
well, yeah.
And like, I have fun
no
times.
Idea. So, they get into, so she stops at the toy store. They go inside, they enter the mall through Target. So, when they get in, they pass the toy store. And, of course, he stopped. Like, look, this is where you said we going.
Why you still walking?
So, she tells him, like, no, we can't go right now, like, you know, maybe another time and stuff like that. So they start to walk off. She passes a clothing store and a perfume store, and then she realizes that Dewan never walked with her after she said it's time to go. She said that he liked to be independent, so she never really held his hand. She even mentioned that there'd be times they were at the grocery store that he would wander off for a few minutes, but he would always make his way back to her.
That's scary.
It's very scary, especially with
scary.
it being Christmas season, and we
It's
know
so crowded.
we know how packed malls are. Like regular
So
stores
crowded.
are packed. Like
Right.
at that point, so when she realizes that Dewan isn't with her, she spends 2 hours looking for him, and this like throughout the mall, she's checking all these spots. Finally, at 4 o'clock, she walks up to the first person that has a walkie-talkie and asks them to to help her. The person with the walkie-talkie was a cleaning lady at the time, but she still could get security over.
Right.
So when security came to help her, they said that they remember her being like kind of like in distraught, like a normal parent would in the situation. So they had no reason to believe something anything was fishy. So they were pretty cool with that. Then as the security gets there, she's like, "Wait, my mom works here at Ladies Foot Locker. And I should check there because maybe Dewan went there because he realized he couldn't find me." So they're like, "Okay, fine, let's check." Yeah, let's check. The grandma Beverly, she finds out and she's like she's thrown at the fact that like not only is her only grandchild missing, it took the mom 2 hours to even you should have been the first person to tell me to her.
Right, and come to me.
But she puts all that to the side and they start looking for Dewan because that's the bigger. We'll get to that later. That's the big thing is where is he at? So after they search, they still turn up nothing. The Livonia police is called. And they search the whole mall all over again, and they're even checking the basement. Places that aren't normally accessed by customers, but like basements, little tunnel halls and stuff like that. So still, there's no sign of Dewan. Like, not even like he dropped his glove or something like that. So they started to think, okay, he's not in this mall anywhere. Maybe he somehow wandered outside the mall. So instead of just keeping a search inside the mall at this point, they expanded to the area of the mall as well. So they're checking. It's getting late at this point, but they're still looking through like snow and all of that. And you know how cold it is in December here. Right. So as they're looking around, they take the mom to the station. And they're questioning her because in their eyes, this is the best witness they got. Right, you were the last one to see him.
The only person who was around.
The only person that was around. So they take her to the station, and around 1 a.m., they give her a polygraph, and she fails. Which Beverly was trying to explain, the grandmother was trying to explain, like...
She's nervous.
She's nervous. That's exactly what she said.
Nervous.
Like, she's in distraught right now. Like, you gotta think about the fact that, like, just a few hours ago, she realized that her son is missing. Like, all kinds of emotions is going off that.
Her only child is.
So they're like, the thing is, the police actually never mentions her results to the lie detector test. They never, like, mentioned it to media. They just said, like, they always brushed it off. So, they wasn't holding it, like, they were just like, okay, on to the next thing, keep going. Yeah, they're still treating it as like a missing person. No reason for her to no reason to be suspect about it. So Monday rolls around, and at this point, the FBI, Michigan State Police, and Detroit Police Department have all joined in on this search. They're searching with dogs, but still, there's no scent picked up. Like, nothing. They're asking employees now. The employees are like, we don't remember seeing him, but at the same time, think about the time of the year it is.
Christmas time.
Everybody's face is a blur right now. Yeah, like everybody's face right now is a blur. Like one store probably seen like over 100 faces in like 30 minutes. Like it's intense.
2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, so the employees don't recall, so they're questioning Victor, Dewana's boyfriend, and they end up giving him a polygraph test, which he passed with flying colors. Nothing worth rolls him out. Yeah, he was in a bed asleep. He's like this, like. I wasn't even around. I just woke up to this. So they also give his dad, Dewan's dad, Zachary, they give him a lie detector test. Although his alibi is really solid, and he said that he hadn't seen Dewan since Thanksgiving, which was like a few weeks ago, and like he had a really solid alibi. They still give him a polygraph test anyway, and he also passes the polygraph test. So they say at 2 p.m. that next day, Dewana goes back to the police station, and while they're interviewing her, asking her more questions, another group of police went back to the mall, and they want to see the footage, security footage now, because like all of our cases, that's like our that's what you go to, and that normally gives you all the answers you need.
Right.
So they even have Dewana go back to the mall with them at a point in time to walk them through the whole
retrace her steps.
Yeah, retrace her steps. Like, okay, this is where you said you were. This is what you said happened. So they're reviewing the footage, and they're looking and looking, starting at 1:45 when she said she was there. And finally, they see Dewana. But the next thing was, they never see Dewan go in with her. Only thing on the footage, Dewana walks in at 4 p.m. and walks straight up to the cleaning lady. And that's when security is paged.
So all of that was just staged. All her whole story was just made
From
up.
what it seems
she
like.
She went to mall for a show.
Yeah, like to kind of like cover up, like to dot her I's, cross her T's, but she really didn't dot nothing and cross anything up because there's cameras. So when the media gets a hold of this, they are going crazy because literally a few weeks ago, I'm not gonna say 2 exactly, but there was a case with a woman named there was a case with Susan Smith, and I believe she was in North Carolina, but she had recently said that her 2 little boys were abducted by a black man, which days later she ended up confessing that she drowned them.
What?
Yeah, so when people hear this, they're like, okay, another Susan Smith case, like, here we go with this again. Okay. So all, like, nobody, at this point, they kind of like, nothing you can kind of say at this point is convincing us that, like, they're automatically looking at her like the suspect now. So when they asked her about this, she was like, no, like, it went down the way I said it went down. I have no idea why he's not on the camera with me, but he was here. I even read somewhere, Leah, that she was telling, like, they had her come in and she was pointing, people like, no, that's me. No, that's me right there. And then they'll zoom in, they're like, that's not you. And then at 4 o'clock when she did walk in, they're like, no, that's you. And there's no kid with you. So, which we know, like, sometimes the footage can be a little fuzzy, but like you know that was you. Like, the coats wasn't matching or anything. Like, girl, you wearing this coat right now.
This is the coat.
Like, so she's sticking to her story still, and she even lets police search her house. They find nothing like that's really like mess, like, you know, kind of throwing them off or anything. So Tuesday comes around, and Dewana's family believes her, like, wholeheartedly. Like, she would never do anything like this. She's a great mother. Like, she goes above and beyond for Dewan. Like, I can't see her hurting. Okay, like, yeah. We learned that, like, you can't always go based off of that.
No.
Like, a lot of times people surprise you behind closed doors. So, when police figure this out, they kind of, like, they move their search from the mall, and now they're searching at home in the area. They're searching garbage, cars, abandoned buildings, parks, other family members' houses and stuff at this time. And this made the family mad because they were like, you're treating us like it's a dead body you're looking for.
But you don't know if he's just missing. You don't know where he is.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. So, like, he could be somewhere.
Like, at this point, we're not worried about you. So you stay over there and just hope we find him.
Yeah, and like, pretty much. But the family, to, like, make sure to get people in people's head, like, look, this is a missing case. This isn't a murder case.
But we don't know that.
We don't know that. They were posting up missing person posts all over the neighborhood, and Wonderland Mall even offered a $5,000 reward for any information about it. And although they received over, like, 1,200 tips in that short period of time, everything, yeah, right? Because all of them were dead ends. So, yeah, nothing led to anything. So Beverly says that the police, she would publicly talk about this, how the police were nice, but the only reason they're focusing on Dewana now is because of the fact that she had the Susan Smith case that just took place.
Right.
So they're like, you're just automatically pinning it off as that. And police reassured her, like, no, this is the process we take every time.
How you have to do it.
That's how we have to do it. Okay. Nuana goes back to the police station, and this time she's going to take another not DNA test, another polygraph. So she's taking a polygraph, and police say like they felt like she was getting close to actually admitting something, telling them something, but she storms out mid-test, which kind of made it as a fail. So now in the record, it's looking like you failed two polygraph tests now. And she said she walked out because she said, I was tired of being treated like a suspect.
But you should want to answer anything to get your child back.
Yeah, so
you should want them to be like making sure
everything is taken care of.
All loose ends are tied.
And you were the last person to see him, so it was like, you are like, they called her a star witness. She, on the other hand, was like, no, I feel like I'm a suspect. And it was like, well, you got to get why they're questioning you so hard.
You're the only person who was with him. So
right.
Who else are they going to ask?
But Zachary, Dwan's dad, he said when he was questioned, they kind of made the question seem like they were kind of already looking at Dwana. So, I don't know, but like, I get where they're coming from too, because like, okay, stuff isn't adding up now. What you're saying isn't happening on the camera.
Right.
So, she was tired of that, so she pretty much pulled away from the police at that point. Like, I'm not really being cooperative with you guys anymore. So police still needed a time frame for 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. before like they got to the mall, like what happened there. They even put out like, okay, if you guys seen a red, I think it was a red Thunderbird, if you seen this car anytime on this day around this time, let us know something. But they never got any hits about it, like at all. So she's like, they're like, okay, fine, we have to keep investigating, keep trying other ways. They go to the laundromat, the last place that she said like they were going before, like where somebody would have definitely seen them. The main thing they got from that is, remember when I told you that Dwan was watching cartoons as his mom does laundry? The laundromat only had basic cable. So on Sundays, there's no cartoons on any of the 8 channels that are playing at this point. So it's like, what did he watch? So it wasn't cartoons, so she couldn't explain this as well. She's like, well, I don't know, like, I don't know what you asked me about cartoons, like, I don't know. Okay. So, and when she pulled away from the police, she went to the media at this point because she still wanted to get the word out about her son. Right. So the police were actually watching this interview, like all the interviews and the reports she was doing, because they wanted to see if there was any inconsistencies. They looked at her body language. Different stuff. If she was cooperative with the news reporters and stuff. They even bought, for like the interview, they bought a coat that looked just like the one that Dwan went missing in.
To see how she would react.
No, to jog the memories. Her and her grandma bought it.
Oh.
To jog everybody's memories. And look,
I thought they had like somebody in the crowd wearing them with thing. That's right.
It's so messed up. But the thing is, I checked too to see it was a new coat because they had the tag on it. Because I was like, is it? Yeah, like. I watched the interview and I was like, no, I gotta see. Just to make me sleep well at night.
It's honestly shocking that they still have the coats. Coats in Michigan go fast.
They do.
The fact that they still got this same make.
It was impressive. And Amazon wasn't a thing back then, so it's not like you could have just Amazoned it.
You just got to go to Kmart and hope that they still got it.
And pray that it's still there. So, they tell the reporters in one of the interviews, and I'm going to read it, she says, "To whoever took my son, I know he's safe, and I know you're taking good care of him. I'm hoping someone ran across him and took him in."
Okay.
Yeah, like, what do you expect people to kind of think from you saying stuff like that? Like,
I know you're safe, but how do you know he's safe?
How do you know he's safe? Because
most times, if he was safe, they'd return him. He's all over the news.
Yeah, like, they had to see this. This was like, this case alone was one of the largest missing person, like, they spent a lot of money on this. A lot of people came in for this case and stuff, like, so much went into finding him, like, so you know he's plastered everywhere.
He's everywhere. You saying that made me think of the Oakland Oakland County child killer
Yeah.
with the Timothy case, and his parents were like talking to him on the news, not the person. Like they were telling him like, we still love you, you can come home. But they're also telling the person who has him like, make sure he's safe. Like, can you return him? Not, I know you have him and he's safe.
I know
like,
he's good.
I know he's safe. Like, no, I know you got him. He's straight. Like, no, it's like, you have him. Can you return him?
Yeah, give him back. He's not yours. So then they go to an interview with Beverly Harris, the grandmother, and they were asking, because the police were suggesting to Duana that a life insurance policy was taken out, right? And she had no idea about it. So she went and asked her mom and was like, hey, they keep asking about this. And Beverly's like, yeah, I took one out. And she's like, oh, I just took one out just to, like, to help with college and, you know, get him set for life and stuff like that. And so she said she offered up this information. It kind of choky to me because a little bit of it, when I was watching the interview, she said she offers up the information to the police. They didn't ask for it. And then the guy asked her again, like, well, did you give it to the police after they asked? And she said, yeah. So it was like, you kind of, yeah. So, but it was a policy for $25,000. And she was the sole beneficiary on it, of course. And she told him, to defend herself, she was like, no, I plan on taking one out for all my kids. Like, I just didn't think to say nothing. But the thing was, the police was kind of etchy because the timing that this policy was made was the last week of November, first week of December. So, like, not too long before he went missing.
Right.
So they even asked her once she explained all of that, she was like, yeah, I pay a premium on it for my payroll deductions and stuff like that. So they're like, all right, last question. Why don't you think that Duane is on the camera? And, like, literally her response,